How come some things just naturally do really well, like baseball cards, and other things, for example, soccer is a much larger sport globally, but soccer cards aren't very popular? The same thing goes, I feel like, for football. Football's very popular here in America. Basketball.
Yeah.
Basketball's massive here, but I feel like people don't care as much about football, definitely, soccer, definitely, and basketball cards maybe less than baseball, when baseball seems like such like a unique and like not very popular sport relative to the others.
I think that's a controversial take. I think it's
Really?
yeah. I think basketball right
cards,
now is
basketball cards I could
crushing it.
see, but football and soccer.
Football's a good product, okay? Soccer recently has been one of those value creation tools that I'm talking about. So a 2004 Mega Cracks Lionel Messi, okay? You could get a PSA 10 for like $30,000 6 years ago. Today, that card sells for over $1 million, maybe $1.2 million, $1.3 million.
So you think it could be on the come up, soccer?
It's 100% on the come up. And what's happened right now, a few cards have kind of run away from the pack, and Pele's always tend to do really well. But no, now soccer cards are on fire.
Interesting.
That's what Jason Oppenheim said.
I could actually look into that.
He bought the Messi card, and then he said he lost money because had he just held on to it, he would have made even more.
No doubt. Oh, absolutely. That card has gone up 6-7 times in the last couple years. And even WNBA, okay? So I will tell you this. The last thing in the last 3 months that I dropped some money on was A'ja Wilson 2018 Rittenhouse rookie cards, PSA 10. She is the GOAT. She is the GOAT, okay? 4 MVPs, 3 Defensive Players of the Year, 3 championships. All of that is going in her favor. That card's going to go way up in value.
Caitlin Clark. That'd be a good one.
It's interesting, though, because Caitlin Clark is a mover of eyeballs. People want to see her. She's also incredible. She doesn't have an MVP. She doesn't have a Defensive Player of the Year. She doesn't have a championship.
She will.
She will. She will.
That's why I think that it could be cheap right now, the card.
Now,
yes, I hear you.
What happens if someone like Messi has a public scandal, does a no-no? What happens to the value of the cards?
It depends, okay? So O.J. Simpson had a public scandal, and his rookie card in top condition is very valuable, okay? And frankly speaking, he's kind of gauged for what he did on the field when it comes to collectibles. With that said, it's not nearly the value that it could have been. I really do think that O.J. would have been celebrated differently. More people would have celebrated him if he had not had a double allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So Messi, here's the thing. When you're at the end of your career and you do something naughty, your statistical career is already spoken for. You've already won your championships. There's a period of time where it depends on how long that naughtiness sticks with you. If you've said something mean and people's feelings are hurt, it sticks with you less time than if you somebody.
Yeah.
So, but it also depends on when it happens. Like people that get in big trouble their 3rd year, oh my God, it's such a huge risk.
See, another thing is, when I was a kid, the only real thing I collected was baseball cards. I had tons of them.
Yes.
The one person I decided, the first card I ever got was an Alex Rodriguez card. And then I was like,
nice.
I'm going to only collect Alex Rodriguez cards. And so now I have like, I have like thousands of baseball cards now, but the one card that I have like over 50 of is just a bunch of A-Rod. And then he did steroids, or it came out that he had done steroids.
Yes.
And then I think that it really negatively affected the Alex Rodriguez card value.
It did.
Because A-Rod now, you can get his rookie card, and it's not that expensive for how elite of a player he was throughout his entire career.
That's an opportunity.
It is an opportunity, but that's true. But I also feel like it would have probably happened by now. He's been retired for quite a long time.
Well, I'll tell you this. I just bought one of Barry Bonds' like key cards. It was like a Topps traded card, if I'm remembering, or a Tiffany card or something like that. PSA 10, not too many of them. That card's rocketing in value right now.
But he's also like cemented in history because he's the home run leader.
Right.
And A-Rod doesn't, like, he of his time was elite. Like
Yes,
as a
that's
fielder, as a hitter, just as like performance-wise, incredible. But I feel like he doesn't have one thing that makes him stand out like Barry does with the home runs.
I think that is so well said. And I think that that's going to be a challenge for him to establish the kind of valuations that he would have had otherwise.
But he does have a diehard fan base.
He does.
People are like, rabid for A-Rod.
Like, for instance, like Jeter and Griffey,
Mm-hmm.
who never got caught up in anything,
Mm-hmm.
their valuations are soaring. So to what you're saying,
Jeter's rookie card's worth way more than
more.
A-Rod's. Way
No
more.
doubt.
What has working in collectibles, been a collector yourself, taught you about the way that the human psychology works?
I think that we want to be parts of communities. I think that we want to show off our fandom. I think it's only so fun to make money with a home or a stock. How much more fun is it to do it in something that you love, that you can have a part of, that you can hold in your hands, it's tangible, that you can put in a frame or you can show off to your kids? Like, it's a whole thing. It's such a buzz to have that feeling. And yeah, I think that that's what's driving a lot of it, both on one hand, community and fandom. On the other hand, just being able to have a tangible piece of something that means so much to you.
Do you think everyone is a collector of something? Or do you think that like true minimalism also exists?
It definitely exists. I think there are people that think all of this is quite silly, but they're fewer and further than they used to be. Like, again, 25 years ago, my first Comic-Con, we sold this He-Man statue at Mattel, okay? It was may have been the first limited edition Comic-Con item. Maybe I'm wrong, but I believe it was. And we opened up at 9 a.m. and I heard in the background like this fighting and people stomping. And I was like, oh, that's so weird. We were in this small little 20 by 20 booth. There was like 6 of us from Mattel. And then I heard it getting closer and closer and closer, and everybody's running towards it. I see these people running towards us. I'm like, where are they going? They're running to us because it was a limited edition He-Man statue. He-Man hadn't been out since 1983. And it was this autographed statue by the 4 Horsemen. It was really cool. And then I heard this lady go, "My knee." And I was like, oh my God, my career is over before it starts. And so they saw this lady laying down, and these other collectors are literally running her over. I'm like, I'm dead. It's over. I was like, this was a great shot. I'm going to go back and buy more domain names. And I ran over to her and she's laying down, oh, my knee, ow, ow, ow. And I said, hey, I was like, I don't know. I can't help your knee, but I can get you a free statue if you want it. And she goes, oh, free statue? She stood right up. She was immediately healed. It was amazing. I felt like I had the gift of like spirituality.
Wow.
And she walked over and she grabbed a statue for free. She walked off. I was like, she's a genius. It's like, that woman is way smarter than me. But yeah, no, but it was a great sign that collectors and this concept of creating value is massively valuable. By the way, not everybody that's collecting is collecting because they love the subject matter. Some people are collecting because it just makes money, and that's to me a legitimate reason to collect.
What do you think about scalpers in the industry?
If you have real demand, you don't need scalpers, but that's the only time they come around. Scalpers don't want to show up unless there's real demand. So unfortunately, you get this like compounding effect where you've got this real demand and then you've got scalpers on top of it. And so sometimes it's hard to gauge what the real value would be if they didn't exist. But yeah, no, scalpers make an enormous impact. Like, I remember a few years ago, Pokemon was selling this Pikachu that they had done with an artist. It was very, very cool. It was a couple $1,000s. And the amount of scalping bids, it must have outweighed everything else so tremendously, because the next time they had a drop like that, there were like 3 different mechanisms that you had to jump through. I think that you have to control for it. You don't want scalpers to make up too much of a percentage of the consumer pool, but it's, they help the demand, that's for sure.
If you have a cat, you know that keeping them healthy is a non-negotiable. And a big part of that really just comes down to diet. By choosing a quality cat food, you're buying more time with your cat and giving them a happier, healthier life.
That's exactly why we are so excited to partner with Smalls. Smalls is fresh, human-grade cat food that does so much more than just feed your cat. It helps them live a full, healthy life.
Not only is Smalls healthier for your cat, but it also noticeably improves their energy. In fact, 88% of cat parents say that after feeding Smalls, their cat is softer and shinier and has more energy to play.
Smalls recipes are over 80% protein, which helps your cat build the muscle they need, and they never use fillers or artificial ingredients.
Personally, I found that finding the right cat food is really difficult because in my case, I have one cat that will literally eat anything. Like, you leave any morsel of food on the table, it just will eat it. The other cat's extremely picky, but with Smalls, they both enjoy it. It's the perfect fix.
If you're ready to find your forever cat food, Smalls is perfect for you, and for a limited time, because you're a Nice Coffee Hour listener, you get 60% off your first order plus free shipping and free treats for life when you head to smalls.com/iced. That's 60% off your first order plus free shipping and free treats for life when you head to smalls.com/iced.
Thank you again to Smalls for sponsoring this podcast.